Hi, I'm Kim Alexander, your Wednesday Fictionista. Today, we're all taking a look at our strengths and weaknesses. That's a tough one. I mean, obviously, there are things like, running a 3-minute mile, my Nobel Prize for Literature, the museum endowment. All right, well, I guess that changes things. So let me begin again. My strengths in writing are actually easy for me to spot. I love writing dialogue. I write dialogue all day long. In fact, my first drafts generally turn out being nothing but dialogue, just people standing in an empty white room, sitting on nothing, eating nothing, drinking and looking at nothing, just talking to each other. That's how it comes to me first. I think it's because I spent over 20 years in radio, and what I just described about the people in an empty room talking into the thin air, that was kind of my job description. It got a lot easier when I gave myself permission to look around. World building was a huge, huge challenge for me. And at the same time, it was extremely liberating knowing that I had more than 40 seconds to get to the top of the hour to go to news, weather, and traffic. Something that I think also stems from my radio background turned out to be a little bit of a surprise to me. As you may know if you've been reading my blog or watching these videos, I can write punchlines. It's like my superpower. I think most people who know me expected that the book that I wrote would turn out to be funny. I certainly expected it myself. But while there's humor in my book, it is pretty serious. In fact, it's sometimes rather dark. Another surprise to me is who the story turned out to be about. I set out to write a book about a woman. I was going to write a strong feminist heroine for my story. I had an image of a girl who'd been kidnapped by a demon, and it was going to be her story, but it shortly turned out to be very clear to me that it was going to be his story. Who is this guy? Why does he act the way he does? What made him do something like kidnap a young human woman that was so obviously contrary to his nature? And the book turned out to be about him. My biggest weakness by far turned out to be a very simple question. So, Kim, tell me, what's your book about? Paralysis. Fear, terror. I'm still working on it. I can tell you what it's not, though. It's not YA paranormal, and it is not a light romantic comedy. Maybe it's like Dune with more sex. Well, I have to go feed the fish. Enjoy the rest of your week, and remember, you can subscribe to the Fictionistas on YouTube, and we'll see you next time.